I met this pretty lady in an enchanted land, what appeared to be a utopia at the exact center of the world. She was sulking, sitting on a beach along the western coast. I felt this masculine drive to approach, and so I drew in closer, concerned. "Come no further," she screamed. "For I am a land so beautiful, once explored, you would never want to leave. You would always find reasons to stay, even if you have to deceive. And although you will never give, only take or receive if you mean to be slick about it." I took another step closer, confused as I noticed tears anchor at the banks of her eyes. She said, "I used to sit right here by this shore, amazed at the sea. This beautiful yet cold, relentless lady would surge back and forth just to touch me. And although she took a piece of me back with every forward surge, I thought she was my friend, yet in her endless need to consume and when she could not get enough, she brought those ships to these very shores. For which of my sins, I know not. I know now I should have been less trusting, less hospitable. For aboard those ships came preachers and thieves alike. They deflowered and they raped, looted and they touched, plotted and they killed. They mapped out and trimmed my edges, took my dignity and my identity, and then imposed on me a new self. One model to treat me as though I was one of them, and yet still inferior at that. But maybe I am wrong. She had only meant to bring life together, and her intentions were pure, but when they did all they did, after she witnessed all that had happened and was happening, she stood there, still and calm, just laid back, outstretched, and granted them a safe passage back and forth in her cold, relentless motion, even as a good sum of my children got fed to her. Well, at least she got paid. She got her fair share of the diamonds, the gold, and many other precious stones and souls. She begins to sob at this point. It really broke my heart when she said, "I am Lady Gold Coast. What name I bore before, I have long since forgotten. If there's one thing I know, I am a queen among queens and kings. And more than the riches, my heritage and cultural values make me great. Or at least that is who I used to be. Now I am nothing but a hoe hooked to pimps in their theater halls, composing, making sure I do the tricks and they reap the benefits to build a future for themselves and theirs, and then they leave me hungry, my children scattered, at each other's throat even, so that I, a supposed queen in her own right, is crippled and on my knees. I am constantly getting utilized. Anybody that tries to step up for me gets euthanized, and I will have to eulogize them so they may live on in your spirits." Speaking of eulogies, my favorite of them, the pioneer did saw that a queen need own her kingdom. Afterwards, she needs to ally with her neighbors, one people directly under and fueled by the power of the sun, fighting on a unified front. That is why we sing today, "Hail to thy name, O Ghana." It's all praises to your name, I managed to say. "I need not your vow," she said. "It is not like you sing that ever in your gatherings now. May I have instead a favor? But of course, anything for you, Umma. What does the name Ghana mean?" God has assigned Nkrumah the altar. At least that is what we used to say growing up. I suppose then God was whom had him unjustly removed as the nation watched in silence. Do not believe aid comes to you for free, she said. But the packages are always labeled no strings attached. That is a line, a hook, and a sinker. Make no mistake, this is no sympathy, it is a symphony. They are perfectly orchestrated pansies with strings at the foremost positions. I mean, the violins, the violas, and cellos are the firing line of violation. And as I dance in domination, you would hear the timpani thumping, tambourines humping, piccolos, flutes, and bassoons chill the air like cherry blossoms. And while I dance on at every string pull, you would see the bigger crowd rejoice. As I dance, they are throwing in requests for newer tricks of what tunes I dance to. They will not stop till I am dead or act it like a possum. Sadly, your leaders who should be on the big stages like the royalty they are, rather are the puppeteers hanging to my strings, so they may scheme to fill their own bellies. For no tune plays out of 10. Not even that willed by the puppeteer, but only what the privileged chooses. I wish, oh, how I wish for a chance at a better life. Free to choose which tunes I dance to, if I dance at all. But beggars, they say, can't choose. And as long as I stay playing in this orchestra, son, do understand there can only be one master.